Welcome back to another episode of Britt and Nick Do the News. We took a little break, just like we always do, but we are back and rounding up some hot topics. And the hottest of the hot is the presidential debate. We had Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Brittany, did you catch all the action?
Girl, I didn't need to catch the action. Them guys are catching the action of the graveyard. One foot in the grave, another on the banana peel. Them fellas are geriatric as heck. And honestly, they really, in my personal opinion, never have too much to say. Little bit of a puppeteer type of deal. Biden, he's 81. According to AP, which is support independent fact-based journalism. Oh, they dropping some facts, knowledge bombs all the way. 81-year-old Biden spoke in a very raspy and soft voice, sometimes mumbled, got tongue-tied, and lost his train of thought.
Yes, he did. The biggest downfall, they said, of the evening was when Joe Biden was talking about healthcare and then totally fell off the map with what he was saying and what he was even thinking. He was staring off into the lights, and the moderator had to cut him off and toss the mic over to Trump.
Goodness. Well, I'm going to tell you what, AP didn't have too much nice to say about Donald Trump neither. He's 78 years old, and Trump spoke with force, naturally, but a lot of plentiful falsehoods. They were not taking too kind to these fellas.
No, they counted 26 false claims of Trump, but they didn't count any of Biden's. But I counted one when he said the Border Patrol endorsed him. They got on X and they said, no, we do not. We do not support Joe Biden. And so that's one false claim that I took. In general, though, I thought that Trump, he spoke maybe too clearly when you compare him to Joe Biden. So I was able to follow along, and I'm just glad, he kept it together and he didn't do too many low blows. I mean, he did swing once at Joe Biden, describing his golf swing and just golfing in general. Trump was boasting about his 2 club championships and how Joe Biden can't hit 50 yards. And then Joe Biden comes back talking about well, if you can carry a golf bag, you can come play with me. And then I'm like, is that a small time flex that Biden's got strong arms? I don't know. I would like to see it.
You know what I'd like to see? Both of them roll off into the sunset together in their wheelchairs to the rest home. Night, night, grandpas.
And one of the hot topics for the debate, Trump brought it up about inflation, how it's killing America, and that it's all Biden's fault. This brings up, Walgreens closing 8,600 locations. They're really feeling the hurt, just like all the other chains we have mentioned. I think you even mentioned something about McDonald's. They recognize inflation and they're trying to give back to the people.
It's true. Now McDonald's is featuring a $5 meal where you get a burger, some chicken McNuggets, fries, and a drink for $5. Kind of puts you in mind of back what the real prices were and or should be. A lot of these companies are really feeling the heat. They're paying their employees more, being forced to pay their employees more. But it's not just that. They decided they wanted to gouge the customer. Well, the customers had a response. They stopped buying. So thus the locations closed. We got a whole bunch of locations closing, girl. They got Hooters, the beloved Cracker Barrel. They have a whole bunch of Outbacks going out of business, as well as several other stores, McDonald's, Pizza Huts, everybody's feeling it. But now I guess they're trying to kind of reintroduce the real prices to get the customers back. And I'm ready. I want to pay $5 for drive-through meal because that's what it should be. They probably gonna make those meals smaller. If it ain't inflation, it's shrinkflation.
You got that right, Brittany. But you know who's not bending over backwards for inflation? Arizona Tea. They are sticking to their 99-cent teas. They are not going to budge. And the owner is not saying that it might never happen because you can't tell the future, especially if tea goes through the roof. But he's like, no, I'm giving back to the people. Our bills are paid, no debt. We're good. So we're not raising the price on our tea. So good for them.
Amen. I love it.
So we have Walgreens closing, but it seems like CVS is thriving, which I mean, they didn't even need the excuse for inflation. Their prices were always high. And the only reason people went in there were for the pharmacies. So I thought, with Walgreens better prices, a pharmacy that, maybe there'd be some hope. But yes, everyone is getting hit hard. Another hot topic for the debate, Oklahoma. They're forcing public schools to teach the Bible and the Ten Commandments, following suit behind Louisiana. What are your thoughts, Brittany?
I kind of enjoy the idea of like, oh, wow, like, Ten Commandments got a lot of good principles and teaching people just generalized morals. But at the same time, I mean, this is America. It's supposed to be separation of church and state. There's one thing to say the Pledge of Allegiance and you say, one nation under God. I feel that sentence can be debated, but at the same time, it's not that deep. Whereas teaching Bible verses, reading about the Ten Commandments, all of that is definitely Christian and or biblical related. So that's not a separation of church and state. And I feel like that's unfortunately what you have to do. You're supposed to keep them separate. So if anyone else came in and was teaching out of the Quran or any of these other, works of history and people will be up in arms. So I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, though the Ten Commandments are great principles that should be taught, I think that it's the parents' decision. You, Brittany, had to go to like Catholic school, and that's where you got drilled on those. And I feel like Christianity teaches some good morals, but yeah, there should be somewhat of a division. And I think like the only reason this is happening is maybe the overturn of Roe versus Wade, like thou shalt not kill, like not doing the abortions, kind of plays hand in hand with, okay, what's the next step? And I think states are pushing it. It's like if they can't even teach classic literature in school, like then why are they teaching them the Bible,
Amen. 100%. Catcher in the Rye. It caught my eye way more than the Bible. I'm sorry. Be it for its pornographic references or just realistic take on the earth. I don't know. If you can't have that, you can't have the Bible. You're exactly right, girl. That's an excellent point.
Big court ruling, the Supreme Court ruling on the opioid settlement, the case against the Sackler family and Purdue Pharmaceutical. Basically, they were pushing Oxycontin to prescribers and the patients, like downplaying the addictive trait of it. A big hit to the opioid crisis, for sure. The settlement would have the Sackler family turning over their company into a nonprofit where they would serve nonprofit programs to help the opioid crisis.
What a sad day for the communities that have been affected. This is horrible. They did so with knowledge and complete and total greed. It was not done for the betterment of any human being. It was not even done for pain management control. It started out as that initially, and it has proceeded to move to something totally crazy. And we don't want to go down the rabbit hole of drugs, narcotics, and how different countries, companies benefit from that. But I'm going to tell you what, the judges, they got to do better than this for a lot of rulings and for this one in particular as well. But hopefully they'll rise again and reapproach and get things taken care of.
A historic swim for Katie Pumphrey. She swam 24 miles from the Chesapeake Bay Bridge in Annapolis to the Baltimore Harbor, Brittany.
Icky.
I wouldn't do it. I think they said they cleaned up the Baltimore Harbor, but if you were to see what I have seen, you would never get in that water. Never.
Oof. Well, and I suppose that she would probably be wearing like better equipment and stuff to like aid in the fact of maybe like not catching diseases from the waterways. I have no idea. But I mean, Baltimore's not the only nasty water. What they got going on in Paris, France?
Oh yeah, with the Olympics, they were gonna have the swimmers get into the Seine River, and everybody in France are horrified knowing that sewage gets dumped in there continuously, and they want to clean it up for the Olympics. That's disgusting. And the people of France did have a something to worry about. They tested the water, and they're like, "Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of E. coli in there. We shouldn't have the Olympians get in."
Well, thank goodness the French people were trying to let us know about this gross injustice. Like, were they really going to let everyone flow on through?
Yeah, they were.
Ugh, that's foul. But you know what? It's not even just in Baltimore, not even just in France. It's pretty much all the waterways during the summertime, girl. They get flooded with dookie roll. Did you know this? Apparently, they do tests on all sorts of popular vacation destinations, be it lakes, rivers, streams. Maybe you're in a bay, perhaps the ocean. Doesn't matter. Every time they test it, the fecal matter is exceptionally high. And it's because people refuse to get out of the water to handle their business. This isn't just the one off, like, ooh, have bad clam sandwich. Had to do what you had to do. This is like blatant refusal. Disgusting, super foul. I'm gonna wear a wetsuit next time you see me at the beach. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna be in a swimsuit. Just pray for the best.
Back to the Olympics, Brittany. You were telling me about a contestant that, I mean, it's kind of controversial that they're even allowed to be in the Olympics.
Oh, yeah, it's 100% controversial that this fellow is allowed to be in the Olympics. His name is Steven Vandervelde. He is a Dutch volleyball player, but I feel like I should have said Dutch rapist first because that's exactly what he is. He's a rapist, girl. Yeah. 10 years ago, he flew to the United Kingdom to meet up with a 12-year-old female and raped her. Now, he was 19 at the time. He's 29 now. But either way, no. Well, they found out about it. He's been, prosecuted. He went to prison. And he's on the national sex offender registry in the United Kingdom. But why are you able to compete? Why is this allowed, sir? And I guess the Netherlands didn't have much to say. They were just kind of like, no, we've been monitoring him. He's fine. He's not a reoffending type of person. We don't care. Unless you want to put him in the turd water and let him bake in like the hot sun. Other than that, I mean, he's volleyball, so there's no reason for him to be in the water. But either way, screw you, Steven. We'll be watching for your failure.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's go over to the Middle East, Russia, Ukraine, about the war. Just to sum up for the past couple weeks, because I mean, there's always something going down over there. Yeah, in our absence, what? Russia sent over 3 warships and a nuclear submarine to Cuba down the road from us, like 200 miles. No one's worried about it. No press conference held. Then you got Russia and North Korea are in bed together, signing over missiles. North Korea is just making a delivery of weaponry, and no one's saying anything over here.
Not a word, girl.
I'm worried because all that's going down. And then they pass a law that males 18 to 26 are automatically registered for the draft. Like, this sounds like World War III.
Yeah, girl. Lots of action. It's pretty insane. Also, I mean, I believe a lot of it is money driven.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these wars, be them in Russia, Ukraine, Palestine, Israel, doesn't really particularly matter. It's all money driven. People can claim anything else, hierarchy or religious, superiority or whatever they feel the need to say. That is all completely perhaps true, but it's not the real reason. It's the money. And why would they ever stop fighting if America funds, Zelensky's probably like, let's keep going. I'll get another 100 billion out the deal. So I don't know. I don't like to speak too much or too little, never that. But yeah, it's all money driven. Mm-hmm. And it's really sad to see that people can't get it together and just live in a cohesive manner. It'd be better off for everyone. But just like these companies, except for Arizona Tea, Job bless. They're money hungry. Everyone's looking to get in someone else's pocket. And that's what a lot of these wars are about.
Speaking of money, Kenya, they passed or they're proposing a finance bill that would hike up the tax rate dramatically, and the people are revolting. Several protests, and being it in Africa, like start trying to suppress the rioters, they're killing them. At least 20 reported dead, probably more. It's just not documented anywhere. But yes, they are acting out, revolting against the government.
Wow. Yep. More pain, more fire and brimstone.
Another fact out of Africa, the rhino horns, they are injecting them with radioactive materials to help prevent poachers from killing them for their ivory horns. It didn't really make sense to me injecting these 20 live rhinos, but then when they explained it, they're like, okay, the material will set off detectors at the borders, at the airports. So anything leaving the country, they're going to be, aware of this radioactive material and find these ivory horns. So they're trying to prevent the endangered rhinos, and it is a movement in the right direction. Every 20 hours, a rhino in South Africa dies. So they need to do something, and I hope this cause helps.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm sure that you get flagged at the airport if you're trying to move anything radioactive. I just hope that radioactive materials don't injure the animal. I'm sure they've done their due diligence and research and they're fine. But yeah, stop killing animals for stuff you don't really need. They kill all sorts of elephants and rhinos for their ivory tusks and horns because they use it in some ancient medicine. And it's like, yeah, you won't have that to use ever again because they're going to go extinct. So yeah, glad to see something's being done about it. And hopefully we can pull them out of the endangered species list.
I really hope so.
Same.
Severe weather. There's thunderstorms and flooding in the Midwest. Many states getting hit with torrential downpours. We got South Dakota, Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nebraska. Just a ton of rain pouring into the rivers. There was this one dam in Minnesota that got pushed over. It took out a house, almost wiped out a river bridge. It's getting pretty crazy in the Midwest. And they're probably taking all our rain because we ain't getting a drop out east.
Not a single drop, Nicole. I swear it has been so dry. And I'm not even usually one of those people that worries about my lawn or my trees. But I have some Japanese maples that are looking a little crispy. And I'm not a fan. So hopefully we can get some of that moisture. We want to take the floods away from y'all.
Getting that water would calm down this heat because it has been hot this past weekend. Woo, above 100. So hot. So there was this 6-foot statue of Abraham Lincoln in front of an elementary school in DC. It melted. They took off its head to help preserve it, but the whole thing was just melted to bits.
And see, I wonder why, the Romans didn't use wax for their statues. I don't know why, but I'm super glad that they didn't. So I could still see the statue to this day. Why would you make a statue out of wax and present it during the summertime? Or, lest me speak not further, maybe it wasn't placed out during the summertime, but even still, why would you make a statue out of wax? That's a candle, babe. We melt those on purpose with a flame, heat, melt.
Sounds like quite a mess. The last topic of the day to touch on, the cicadas. I have not, and I don't want to jinx it, knock on wood, I have not heard not one. And I ride along the C&O Canal, along the Potomac and the Shenandoah, in the trees. I don't hear them. Where are they, Brittany?
Girl, I have no idea. And I'm super glad to not know. I've seen a few reports like where people say that they have them or they've seen them, but I don't think it was near as big as they were anticipating. I think they were expecting a lot more and there wasn't near as much. And so I'm grateful, but at the same time, I'm a little sad because I feel like all the stuff is kind of not coming back the way it was, not just the rhinos that are being poached. Remember all the fireflies? Remember we'd be able to catch 50 in a jar, lickety split? and it was no problem. Now I look out in a meadow and there's like 10 total. And I'm like, where have all the fireflies gone? Same with the earthworms. I remember it raining and I couldn't walk a single foot without stepping on 10. Now it rains, I see 4. I said, what's going on? We'll see. Anyone let us know. Let us know your location and let us know if you've been seeing any cicada movement. Have you been hearing them? I remember a while back I heard a few. Other than that, nothing since. So if anyone else is out there and you know about them, let us know.
I feel like other summers it was out of control, and this one probably the most tame. So it's pretty mysterious.
Indeed.
All right, back to the nostalgic movie of the week. I watched It Takes Two, with Ashley and Mary Kate Olsen, and then we got the 2 other leads, Christy Alley and Steve Guttenberg.
Love him.
The story is about 2 young girls. One's name's Alyssa Calloway. Sounds rich, and she is. And then we got Amanda. Well, her new name was Amanda Buttkiss. I can't remember what it really was, before she got adopted at the end of the movie. But yes, 2 identical strangers. What's the likelihood of that? Running into each other. One's at camp and one's at her lake house, and they want to escape their lives, and then they switch. And then in between the switch, they're like, hey, let's not get this isn't Parent Trap. Let's not get our parents together, but pretty much they're their parents and have them fall in love because, of course, love at first sight is real. So they bring the 2 together after a crazy horse ride. He saves the day, and she comes back to the house, patches up his bumped forehead. And yes, the girls, I guess, make it work because at the end of the movie, I mean, he was going to end up marrying Clarice. If her name isn't Clarice, it should be. She's a blonde, very mean lady. Would have been a horrible stepmom to poor Alyssa. So, broke them up. And then, he got together with the camp counselor, the woman that couldn't adopt poor Amanda because she didn't make enough money working at the orphanage.
Oh,
yeah.
That's
good. It's a good movie, though. I know I didn't make it sound too good, but we love the twins. I was thinking, debating to myself, who would you rather see? The twins, Mary Kate and Ashley, or Lindsay Lohan playing a twin? Because I think I like that twin better, and it's not even a real twin.
I think I would have to agree with you, but also those were iconic gals in our childhood, several others as well. But yeah, those ladies were the movement. Everything they put out, everything they produced or helped produce, or anything that had their names anywhere near it. My sister and I were about it. We watched all the movies, just like the Spice Girls stuff. I mean, the young gals went ham on it. And I always thought they were great. Mary Kate and Ashley, Lindsay Lohan, Hilary Duff, all of them.
Those are girls.
Those are our girls. And I think we had great movies back then. I think the nostalgic movies are a bit better than these ones that they got nowadays, to be honest.
My son, he's watching them with me, and he agrees they are A+. So it means a lot coming from him. Catch It Takes Two. Definitely a fun movie to watch with the kids, for sure. So that's it for this week's episode, Brittany. I hope everyone has a great weekend. If we don't catch you for 4th of July, it's coming, and so is the traffic. So good luck to everyone who's hitting the road to get to their destinations, and I hope everyone has a safe 4th.
Oh, heck yes. Enjoy, everyone.